Well, I was recently in a car accident in New Jersey. I had just moved back to New York maybe a year prior. My husband had recently passed away, so I was working in New Jersey, commuting every day, 2 hours one way. And as I was leaving work in April, nice sunny day, in the evening, I got hit on the side. I was T-boned on the side of my job parking lot. And I was in pain, instantly in pain, woke up the next day, could not move at all. Went to the hospital and found that I had some injuries that were really impacting my mobility. So I came across Ira's name and I decided to give him a call. The one commonality across all the reviews and testimonials with Ira was how friendly he was, how personable he was. And that's how I am when I'm working with someone. To me, it's not just about the business aspect, it's about the relationship. So when I saw those reviews, I thought that Ira would be the right fit for me. In my initial consultation with Ira, I think we probably spoke for about an hour and a half, honestly, in his office. And it was nice. He just wanted to know me before we even got to the details of the accident. He wanted to know about me. So that was nice. It showed that level of care. And then, as we got into the details of the accident, our relationship just went from there. I think initially Ira and I spoke almost every day, every other day. And that was nice because it always wasn't about the accident itself. He genuinely cared about how I was feeling. The injuries I suffered were very overwhelming to me. For one, that was the first time I've ever been in an accident to that severity. And I was scared. Again, my husband had just passed away. That fear of not being able to go to work, not being able to be as mobile was more frightening to me than the pain itself. I think that took over my mind a little bit more. I had severe neck injuries, lower back injuries. With some of the nerve damage that was caused from the accident, I lost some range of motion in my arms, range of motion in my neck. So driving for a while was completely out of the picture. So I had to go on short-term disability. Being that I had suffered a severe concussion, just using the light on the laptop was even bothering me. So I wasn't even in a position where I can work from home. So I went from being active and into sports and just always on the go to being stagnant. And it was hard. It was a really, really rough time for me, a really dark time for me. When I got my actual diagnosis from my medical doctor, Ira was great walking me through it, even though I had, walked through with my doctor as well. But he was very knowledgeable of my injury. He always reassured me, well, this is why you need to be doing this. Having Ira's point of view as well just gave me a bit more comfort because the process was long. This was no quick fix. So it was months, well, beyond months, it was years of medical appointments and physical therapy. But Ira was with me every step of the way. The ironic thing was, being that I was T-boned, I thought this was going to be pretty cut and dry as far as, my litigation and my payout. But it wasn't. They really fought against it. Even with all of my factual documented injuries, they really tried to find a way to imply that I caused the injury. So I was grateful to have Ira support me on that. But he was on it. He gave me that comfort. Don't worry. The facts are the facts, and we're going to get through it. And that's what we did. Ironically, COVID was in the midst, so we were going to court virtually, which was very different than anything that I've been used to, but I felt comfortable. He just prepped me the night before what to expect, and I zoomed in feeling ready and comfortable to speak my truth. Ira did a great job helping me through the litigation process, especially when it came to terminology and things that could trip me up, basic things that we really don't think about that could be taken out of context. And we spent hours, going through a lot of the details of what to expect. And obviously, he left it open where if I had any questions, I could always call him at any time and ask. And that's the way my brain works. Sometimes I can't think of it right on the spot at 9 o'clock. It pops into my mind. And I knew that I could always shoot him a text message or call him first thing in the morning or shoot him a late night email. And by the time I woke up, I was going to see a reply. So that was the great thing about working with Ira through this process, was that he made sure I was always knowledgeable. He made sure I was always in the loop regarding what he was doing. And I felt like we were really working as a team. Now that I've gone through the end of my process, I feel a sense of relief, a great sense of relief that we're on the other side. I don't feel like I could have gone through this with any other lawyer because it was a very lengthy process, longer than I anticipated, because I've never been in a situation like this before. But I was so grateful to have Ira guiding me and supporting me from beginning to end. I will say I am going to miss our conversations because we have built a friendship over this time. So I think I'll miss our check-ins as much as we were when we were dealing with the case. But I'm happy to say that I gained a friend out of this process, and with everything I was going through in my life at the time of the accident, again, I just can't stress enough how great it was to have Ira with me every step of the way.